Today is Monday, August 17th, 2015, and this rant will be in reference to Nouri al-Maliki, the former Prime Minister of Iraq. Big article, I don't know where it was, New York Times, maybe the Post, I don't really know, in reference to the fact that when the city of Mosul, which was the northernmost, or one of the large northern city in Iraq, which is mostly Sunni, was taken over by ISIL, I believe, in around May of 2014. Basically the Iraqi army basically cut and ran. And of course, at the time there were these pictures, and then it was how great ISIL is, ISIS is, Daesh is, and how they were going to make a caliphate in that whole area, et cetera, et cetera. So the current prime minister, Abu al-Abadi, I believe his name is, their commission said that, oh, well, guess what? That there was a tactical decision that was made to say, every one of you guys cut and run. And of course, the pictures that we see now show, a complete ragtag group of soldiers, if you want to call them that, cutting and running out of Mosul. And the thing is, what really went on there? That where were these high-level discussions that happened that said, hey, we don't care about Mosul. We're going to send our army back and keep our army intact and not let it fight ISIL. And remember, ISIL is Sunni, and the majority of the Iraqi army was Shia. And it is my understanding from the stuff that's going on that a fair amount of the Iraqi army, that the soldiers paid a certain portion of their wages to their bosses, the colonels, the generals, or whatever, so that they didn't have to show up. And that's been a problem with the Iraqi army ever since Bush got in, is tried to rebuild the whole thing, is how do you have and maintain a fit army that is willing to fight for its own country? And of course, these are Shia, and they don't really want to fight against the Sunni, not unless they want to slaughter them and find a way to do that. When maybe it comes up to an even fight, they don't want to do that. Or defend a city, Mosul, which is probably Kurdish and Sunni, and possibly some other tribes below that, but not very many Shia in there. And this is the problem that's gone on, again, since Bush got in, is that there really isn't a cohesive government. When al-Maliki came in, he started a Shia theocracy. They really didn't care that much about an army. They were greatly aligned with Iran. And these are some of the results that have gone on. And now we find out that there was possibly a tremendous amount of collusion that was going on in the upper echelons of the Iraqi government to cut and run from Mosul. And what's the big thing about this whole thing now and today? Well, we have an election coming up, and all of the Republicans are basically indicating that Obama's plan stinks after going after ISIL, and that they all have a better plan. Of course, we know Trump's plan to take the oil fields away. How's that going to happen? How are you going to maintain and keep the oil fields away? And that the other bunch of Republicans are basically saying that the United States has to show strength, that the United States has to show leadership. I think the only one is Graham from South Carolina, who's basically said we need to put boots on the ground. But just the indication of what went on in Mosul is a clear indication that we are not working with a reliable partner there. And what little efforts that we do are mostly to protect the Kurds and to protect any other minority sect there, and not necessarily help out the Iraqi army unless they want it and they show a proficiency that they are willing to fight and fight for land. And when they get the land, they're willing to keep the land and then make everything in those towns, those cities, or Mosul itself run well. And, it's been 2003 to 2015, and the Iraqi was rebuilding was early, but let's just say at least for the last 8 or 9 years, that the Iraqi army has shown no willingness to do anything to make the country whole. And this will play large in the election. We'll see what happens.